helping my friend pack for an 8-day trip to Italy. It's going to be in October, so the weather can be a little bit iffy. It can be a little cool sometimes, and it can be warm. So the great thing about Italy is you want to dress in layers. You go into museums or cathedrals, a lot of times it's kind of cool. So what we want to do is try to still look fashionable, but we want to condense, because getting on and off trains, you don't want to be dealing with a bunch of luggage. I also like to try to carry everything on if I can, because the last thing I want is to spend 3 or 4 days of my trip with no luggage. So the first thing I do is start with a bag with a couple of compartments. I happen to like this Eddie Bauer bag. It's just nice, it's well constructed, it's got a lot of zippers, so easy to organize. The bottom part of the bag is the sturdier part, and of course it's on wheels with an extendable handle. In the bottom we want to put our shoes. Now, first things first, on the plane I'm going to wear my boots, because I would love to have some boots while I'm there, and I don't want to have to pack them because they take up so much room. These are Keen boots. They are as comfortable as a tennis shoe. They're pretty waterproof just in case it's rainy, because it can be, and you'll really enjoy them. You can walk all over the place with them. The other thing is one nice fashionable belt. I can wear it on the plane. Black turtleneck and some leggings, and then this little piece, a ruan, because it's not going to look great with what I'm wearing, but you can wear it sort of like a sweater cape, and while you're on the plane, voila, you can take it off, kind of wear it like use it like a little blanket. I hate to use the airplane blankets. So now back to the packing. In the bottom, of course, the heavier things. You'll want to take a pair of flats, because you're going to be doing a lot of walking. So one nice little pair of black flats. I try to use the shoes as a little double storage, so there's one of the belts that I'm taking. Just throw it in a little bag that actually came with the shoes, just to protect the shoes and my clothes. Also, I'm going to have one nice pair of heels. Nothing, too spiky, because a lot of times you're walking on cobblestone, but just, kind of basic black heels, a little bit more substantial heel. Again, let the shoes do double duty. I pack just like some face cleansing pads in there. Try to sort of puzzle them together so that they don't take up so much room. Another bag, just throw them in there, just so, again, kind of keep them from getting anything dirty in your bag. Okay, so heavy stuff on the bottom. Now, also things that won't wrinkle. It's not going to matter if they wrinkle. Pajamas. Take a pair of pajama pants that you could literally wear down to breakfast in the morning, kind of do double duty, and they're soft, they won't wrinkle. The shirt that goes with it. The other thing that you can put in the bottom is just anything else that won't wrinkle. A nice pair of knit pants. These are just some boot cut pants, ponte knit, comfortable, won't wrinkle, will go with everything. They can be dressy or casual. You will definitely want to, if you've got just a little light raincoat, throw in there, a rain hat. I typically throw a light pair of gloves in, just because you never know, and a small umbrella, because again, the weather can be iffy. And then if you've got anything else that just can scrunch up, this is a little popcorn black dress, the basic black dress. You can't wrinkle it if you try. Just roll it up small, tuck it into the back corner, and you've pretty well got the bottom done. Now for the next layer. This is just a long linen sweater. It's lightweight, but if you're in a museum or a cathedral, it can be, just a nice little layer. You can throw it over leggings. But what you want to do when you're folding clothes, a lot of people say roll them. I don't like rolling them. I try to fold as absolutely flat as possible. So this is just one little fold and it's in. That goes on the bottom because it's probably going to be the heaviest thing. And then just because it can possibly get little runs or pulls with it, I like to put just one piece of tissue over that. The tissue will also kind of help things from wrinkling a little bit. So, once that's in, take the next couple of things. Here's a little, just a lightweight, kind of sporty dress. You can dress it up, dress it down. It's got a hood on the back. And I tucked a little lightweight black turtleneck underneath it. Again, layering. Leave the turtleneck out, use it, whatever. Throw some leggings under it, wear it with the black flats. You're good to go for a day of the museum or art galleries or whatever. Again, fold as little as possible. Leave everything as flat as you can. Next, just to go over the little black dress, the popcorn dress that went in the bottom, pop a color, a pashmina. Can't go wrong with those. Lightweight, double it up if you want. They're great for all kinds of weather. They can be dressy, they can be casual. So, another piece of tissue over all that. Then the next items. So here we have one silk shirt, one supposedly no iron cotton shirt, you never know. And then this is kind of a little rain jacket, a little casual rain jacket. What I like to do is put the rain jacket kind of in the middle. It'll give some padding. Fold the silk and the cotton over it. Again, as few folds as possible. That way, the rain jacket will kind of give enough padding to keep the cotton and the silk from wrinkling. The silk, being smooth, will keep friction from happening, and that's what makes wrinkles. So, tuck everything in with as few folds as possible. Then what goes on top is your lingerie bag. Now, this is something my daughter gave me. It actually says lingerie. It's kind of nice. But any kind of bag will do. If you have something that a handbag came in or a pair of shoes or something like that, it's just good to have all your lingerie in one bag so that, one, it's easy to find, and two, just in case your luggage gets inspected at the airport, you don't see under things flying everywhere. So all right there and right on top. Now, the next thing is you want some kind of a little evening bag. This is small. It's good enough for like a lipstick and a hotel room key and maybe a credit card. So tuck the handle inside. It just goes right in the bottom corner of the top of the bag. Now, you have to accessorize because you only have a few pieces. So take a nice little jewelry roll, throw a few accessories in there, and then you can presto changeo, change a lot of things up. This folds nice and flat. It actually snaps up. Also goes inside the bag. So basically, that is the suitcase. Several changes of clothes in there, a lot of mix and match things. Now, the next thing is the carry-on bag. So, I have a tote that would be nice enough to really carry around town if I wanted to. If we're going out for a day of sightseeing and I wanted to pack a few things in there, maybe even like a little picnic lunch, this is big enough that I could do it. But it's great for carrying on the plane. So, the first thing that goes in, the essential, my iPad. I've loaded some movies on there, I've got some books on there, and this is going to entertain me on a very, very long flight. So, that goes in first. The next thing that goes in is my toiletry bag. Now, I've got one that can unwrap and hang up. That way, on the plane, if I want to go freshen up, just stick this up on the hook. The bottom are hairbrushes, the middle are Q-tips, toothbrush, and so on. And then this is my makeup. I'm using all the mineral type makeup so that I don't have any liquids. So really easy, really compact, and it all fits in one space. So that goes in next because it's kind of big and bulky on the bottom. Next is just my little bag that I'll use while we're touring around town. This is nice because it can fit over the body like a cross bag. It's got a couple of little pockets. but it's compact enough that all I need in here would be my wallet, my glasses, some lipsticks, maybe my passport, depending on whether or not I've left it at the hotel. So that can go right inside the carry-on bag. The next thing would be a small little pair of flip-flops. Very, very flat. These are great for when you're on the plane because I'm probably going to kick those boots off, but the last thing you want to be doing is walking into the airplane bathroom barefoot. So this is great for that, but they're also stylish enough and cute enough that if I want to toss them on and run downstairs for breakfast or coffee, I could do that without having to make a big production of getting dressed. This is my electronics bag. Once I finish recording this video, that camera and my still camera will be going in there along with any connectors that I'm going to need. Trust me, it all fits. A pair of fuzzy socks so that when I'm sleeping on the plane, I have those nice and handy. Little hand sanitizers. These are called Click and Go. You can get them almost anywhere. I think I got these at the Container Store. They're great because wherever you're going, you can just have those handy to clean your hands. Next would be baby powder, a small little thing of baby powder, and I'd recommend putting it in a baggie. The reason you want this is when you've been sleeping on the plane, a lot of times your feet will get swollen. So if you'll just sprinkle some of this on your feet before you slip your shoes back on, it makes it a whole lot easier. Just kind of nice to have anyway. Glasses, sunglasses, just put them together in one pocket. Someplace where they're nice and handy, easy to get to. Makes it good just to have them both right together. A little lint roller, because if you don't use your own blanket and you use the blanket that's on the airplane, trust me, they leave junk all over you. Nice to have a nice tiny little lint roller. You can get these at any drugstore right in the travel section or someplace. And then the last thing that goes in the carry-on bag is the quart-size bag of liquids. And the reason you want this last is obviously you've got to pull it out separately and then you can just toss it right in. But in here I have some little packets of Woolite because I'm trying to minimize, so I'll probably wash a couple of things on the road. I have a sewing kit, have deodorant, obviously toothpaste, even a hairspray, and those kinds of things. I get little samples of the moisturizer that I use. If you buy stuff regularly, wherever you go, they'll usually give you samples. And those are really easy to fit nice and flat in here. Here's a trick though. When you get to your destination, don't rip it open. Use your sewing kit. Use one of the pens or needles in there and just punch a little hole in there and just squeeze out what you need. That way it'll stay if you don't use the whole thing in one application, so you can use it for several times. And that's it. That's your carry-on bag. There's your luggage. You're good to go for a week or 9 days or 10 days or wherever in Italy. I hope that was useful.